Precious, did you manage to read your data set?
No, not yet.
Do you need help for that?
No, I don't
Okay,
think so. I'll
okay,
keep trying.
okay. Sister Balikis, you can share your screen.
Okay. So it's right here.
Okay.
How do I add the shopping experience folder to it? The file. When I opened it, it didn't open the way it's opened for you.
Okay. You know what? Go into your folder where you store your data set. Let me see your parts from your
The data
system.
set. You mean the one you sent to us, right?
Yeah, you download it, right?
Yeah, I just downloaded it. Yeah.
Okay. Let me go and see your parts.
This is it.
Yeah, download. Click on it. No, the parts. I want to see the parts. I think
Oh, okay.
Balikis download documents. So it will show the parts up here. Come to download up here. Okay, let me take over your system.
Okay.
I'm really
I guess it should be under my one drive.
under
Down.
OneDrive. Click on this icon beside the download up here.
This one?
Yes, in the arrow here. Yes, click on it. It's supposed to show the parts under download. Okay. And where do you save your Python that you are working on? Copy the customer shop here.
Okay, the pattern I'm working on, I think it's saved under my desktop. Under my desktop, then it's this one.
You know what? What you do is that under your desktop, create a folder, call it a Python, and
Yeah,
put
I've created
everything about your Python, the question, your Python that you are working
right
on.
there, right? Okay, I
Yes,
think I created one on the desktop. Let me try to find it.
where you put your intro Python. Let me see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get to Python. I think maybe my first project. Is it this one? No, it's not this one.
No, this intro Python here. So copy the intro Python, create a folder, call it a Python, put your data set there,
Can you
your
see intro Python?
Yes, that is your intro Python.
Hmm.
Under
Where?
GitHub desktop.
Okay.
Click
This
on
one?
it. Yes.
It's just my VS. I think it's my VS code. That's not a
Yes,
folder.
that's your VS Code that you are working on. That you
Okay,
name it
okay.
intro.python. You
Okay,
understand?
okay. That
So
is it. Okay.
now I want you to create a folder called Python, put your intro.python, put your data sets there, and here you will now come, you create your Jupyter's notebook.
Okay. I hope that will not waste time and delay orders.
So let me and you do that after class
Okay,
so
okay,
that we
yeah.
can have
I'll
enough
just
time.
follow through.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I want you to open the question from your end because I just want to share only the visual
Okay.
code. So I don't want to be going up and down. The question two, I said either you create a markdown here or you inside your code you put your question up here so that you'll be able very easy for you to read when you want to read, you want to come back to your code and read. So here display the first 10 rows of the data set, and our data sets we is a sales. So we can change it to dev if you want, but let's leave it sales because we are working on customer sales shopping data set. So our sales, we want to see the 10 rows. Print sales.add and you put 10 here. Sales.10. Print to sales, print sales.add to give us the first 10 rows in the data set. So Python starts the index from 0, not 1. So it will stop at 9. So this is the first 10 row in the data set. When you want to check for the last 10 rows, you use the last 10 rows, the 10 rows in the data set. But we are working on the first 10. Let's change it to 8. Question 3. Check the number of rows and columns in the data set. So, question 3. We want to check the number of rows and columns in the data set. Anybody can help? How can we check anybody? We use shape function. So shape will give us the rows and the columns of the data sets. Print sales.shape. You have to put antisense here. So it will give us the number of rows and columns. Because you have to check all these things. We call it data cleaning. So you want to check the number of the columns and number of rows in data set. You use shape to check them. So question 4. Someone should answer the question 4. You can paste the answer on the chart. I want you to display the columns name in the data set. Anybody can answer that part. And the question 5. I want to see the data type. Anybody? So when you want to check for you want to display the column names in the data set. Let me copy the question and paste it here. We use columns because you are going to display the column. So it's the same method. You have to know all these functions in your head. Sales dot column. So to give you the name of the column here, we have invoice number, customer ID, gender, age, category, quality, price, payment method, invoice. This is the name of the column that we have. So the data type is equal to string because all the names are in string in one quotation mark. So that's why it gives us the data type. So if you have question, just stop me and ask question, please. Question 5. Check the data types of all columns. I want to copy the question here. Use this. Yeah, I told you that the data type is equal to string. So now we are going to check the data types of all columns. Who can give me the code for that? Yeah, I said that we use sales.column. It's the same method though. Instead of using columns here, what are we going to use to check the data type? The answer is inside here, inside the result of the column. So I need anybody.
Is it that we are going to write print
Yes.
open bracket sales
Sales
dot
dot
d type?
D type. Good.
Okay.
D type. So it will give us the data type for each column in the data set. Our invoice is a string, our customer ID is a string, our gender is a string, age is a number, it gives us integer 64. Category is a string because it's a letter. Quantity is a number, it gives us integer. Price is a float because the price contains floats, and the rest. Payment method is in letter, it gives us string. Invoice date. The invoice date here is supposed to give us date, but it see the date inside the data set as a string. So we are going to fix that later. So you see age category is a string, gender is a string, customer ID is a string because it starts with C. Voice number 2 is a string because it starts with I. Quantity is a number, it gives us integer 64. Why price is a float is because it contains points. And payment method is in letter, it gives us string, and date, it gives us string because it's seeing this date as a string. So that is a part of data cleaning. You have to fix this as a date before you can continue your analysis. So question 6. Identify missing value in the data set. I'll send you this Python file, but when I send you the Python file, this VS code. So you have to, before it to work from your end, you have to change the parts. But the code, everything will work if you change your part from your end. Because if you want it from your end, the way I send it, it won't work. Because I read my data set from my system. So you have to read your data set too for you to run everything to see the results and the output. Identify the missing value. Copy this. So we want to identify the missing value. Do we have missing value in the data set? We use print sales dot is null function. Dot give us the sum function. We want to know the number of missing value. So for each column, we have 0 missing value. However, let me go back to my data set here and make some changes on the data set to see the output. So I need to open the data set in Excel. Which part should I change something? Okay, let me erase this female. I'm not sure, maybe it will work here. Suppose to open it in Excel sheet. I call it again. Female. So I need to run everything. Let me see if it will work. Yes, you see, from the gender, I deleted 2 female. So we have 2 missing value. And from the number, let me delete this 4, delete this 1, delete this 5, and save. Let me come back here and rerun everything. You see, from the price, we have 3 missing value. So when you use is null function, it will indicate the missing value in your data set, and it will count the missing value in each column for you. Any question? Do you have questions?
I want to ask a question.
Okay.
What if we don't want it to be in a figure result? Like maybe you want it to be in true or false. Like, okay, there is a missing value, true, there is no missing value, false. Is it possible to do that?
When you want to check for the entire data set without looking at as each column is possible, we use any function, if I can remember. Yeah, it's possible to check either it's true or false. You see, it will give you false or this word
Okay.
in, you understand? So I can copy this part. Okay. Let me undo this part because based on the and copy this part in the next copy.
All right. Do that, please.
So you said that they give us in two different forms. That one was say, but me, I'll prefer to know the number of missing value in each column so that I'll know, okay, I'm going to work on this part, gender. I'm going to work on the quantity part column. So I know I'll extract these two columns from the data sets and I'll work on it. So because I know that the two columns contain missing value. But when you see it in false and true, to figure out, to point out which column contain missing value, it will
Stop
be
it.
quite difficult to, because when you see this gender here, you see that we have true here and we still have another true down, but it cannot display all the 99,400 at once. You have to search for it one by one. You understand? But when you have it in this format, you'll be able to know that, okay, this column contains two missing value and the second quantity contains three missing value. You see the difference?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Question 7. Remove duplicate record from the data set. We want to drop the duplicate record. Before we start that, let's go back to the data set. So from the gender here, we have female, male. It may see it as a duplicate file. No, the point that it will see it as a duplicate, maybe it will check the old rows and see if like a Sivahiri AVM. We have another Sivahiri AVM, but the dates are different. And use cache. Let's run the code for that first and say I want to check something. So when you want to remove duplicate from the data set, you use sales, our data frame, drop function, duplicate plus. We use in place because we don't want to create a new. You will not see the output because we did not define the variable for it. Saves equal to saves. It says, I want to set the output. Save it. Object has no attribute, drop duplicates. That's why I want to change. So no duplicates in the print says, I think, let me go and run it from here to see something. One or This our sales. No duplicate value. Can you tell me the reason why when we drop duplicates from the sales data frame, we created a new variable here and we say print sales name is give us none. That means it said all the data sets contain duplicates.
It means there is
Can
no
you explain?
duplicate.
Yeah, it's not duplicate. So for the question 8 and question 9, can you continue? Please give me 2 minutes. I'll be back. You can continue question 8 and 9. Hello? Oh, yeah. So, when you put false here, we are creating a new data frame. So, this is the claim. Because we put a true, we are telling the code that, okay, directly work on the original data set. But I want to create a new data frame to have a clean data set that does not contain a missing value, a duplicate value. So we still have the same. I don't think the data set contain any duplicate value. So we return the 99,457 rows. So the question 8, can you send me the code for the question 8 and 9? You can send it inside the Zoom the chat so that I copy it from there. Question 8 and question 9. Anybody there? Question 8 and question 9. So the Zoom will stop in 7 minutes. I'll create 30 minutes so that we can have more 30 minutes to solve the question till 20, and you solve the remaining tech question by yourself. Next week, we are working with electronic medical record, healthcare data sets. So with question and questions, I'll send you this Python physics code from my end so that you can see all the code. And also, I'll send you the answer in another file. So I'm sending you this and the answer. So next week, we are working on the electronic medical record data sets with question. We are following the question. I think that it contains maybe 30 questions too. So our last week for the Python, we are connecting our Python into the dashboarding. But this one, we are creating a data visualization from it. We are going to answer some question. I'll give you some question that you are going to answer from this. Everything that we are doing now, we are doing data cleaning. We want to make sure the data is clean. Is there missing value, duplicate value, the data type? We are working on dates now after question 10. I think the date question 8 or 9. So we are working on that part. We want to make sure the data is very neat, clean. After that, we perform 2 or 3 questions on data analysis question, and we create a data visualization. So yeah, can you give me question 8 and 9? And I will go to question 10.
Question 8 reads, convert the invoice date column into data time format.
Yes. I don't even know that question 8 is for data time format. Let me copy the question. So can you give me the answer? I said that the invoice date, the data type is a string. You see it as a string, not date. So now we are converting the invoice date into date. It's mandatory to check your data type whenever you want to work with a data set. Part of your routine for data cleaning is to check your data type to know, the number 5 question. You check your data type to know, okay, now, when I saw the invoice date as a string, it's supposed to be a date, not string. So, but the data set, it's identify the invoice date as a string, not date. So we have to work on that part. So it's very important to check your data type before you start doing your analysis. It's part of your data cleaning. So when you want to convert your invoice date column into date time format. So do you remember that I created a new data frame called sales new? That's the new one that we are going to be using. When I use only the cells, I'm calling the old data frame, the new data, the original data set that we read into the Python. So, but we created the new one up here. So our new data frame, data set is sales new. So here, I want to call the data frame invoice. It's a string. Invoice date equal to the sales new, our current data set. So sales new invoice date equal to PD. I'm going to convert my invoice date to date format. So you use a Panda library to call that to date time function common. Sales new invoice, we call the invoice back. Invoice date. Yeah. Sales new editor date time. Sales new the invoice. Let's go the error. Format could be infer or user did not ask for the missed format passing. If format is not known and format not equal to missed, return time data does not match format. You might want to try passing format if this part is a day, month, and year. If your string have a consistent format, passing format this if your string are all this, but not necessarily in exact the same format. Passing format means and the format will be inferred for each element individually. You might want to use day first alongside this. So the data sets, they're not in the same format. That is another issue. You know, I told you when we were working on Excel that sometimes when you are working with date column, it will give you some, you may see, they may miss month to day, year, or day, month, year. And if they are not in the same format, you won't get the exact to convert it to day. So you have to check if they are in the same or the invoice date are in the same format before you can be able to convert it into the date. So